Hello, good afternoon. Today I wish to talk about our character Ramdaye, the Honorable Ramdaye, our Deputy Mayor. In our text, the Samaritan, and remember we are talking about essays coming from this text. Our target is this year's candidates, 2024, who are expected to do an essay in this book. Remember to like my page and subscribe whenever you can. Now, straight to the text, let's talk about Ramdaye. We get to meet our Honorable Ramdaye, the Deputy Mayor, at the beginning of the text at the launch of the Samaritan app in Sagrada School. Ama is one of the guests who have arrived at the school to witness this, and that is on page 2 of the text. They've arrived. And of course, he's one of the people who questions the Samaritan app, and he asks, why have you kept us in the dark about this? He's asking Principal Naren on page 17. And Naren says the mayor's office has been duly informed. So this Samaritan is not something that they are not aware of. They are aware of it. Now, coming to the negative, is one of the characters that brings out the vices or is portrayed in a negative light. And we can see that clearly on page 62 from the words of the mayor. What does he say about him? The mayor complains about the cost of projects and the shoddy municipal works that he's being accused of inflating the cost. He also complains about the roads, the secondary roads. Construction and maintenance is never done. And Mayor reports that to Nicole. And he tells Nicole, you know what happens? This is what happens. A few kilometers of the road are usually dug up and then leveled. And then the contractor just pours old black oil, not even new, old black oil, and claims the road is tarmac. And he says that today the secondary roads look like part of an abandoned battlefield where bombs were detonated. Even tractors get stuck on such roads. So if a tractor can get stuck, you can imagine what would happen to an ordinary vehicle. So these roads are pathetic, for lack of a better word. He also says the council pays up top dollars for these roads each year, and this money is wasted. So our deputy mayor is directly involved because Moses says he's also doubles up as the municipal secretary for the Department of Fiscal Infrastructure. He's in charge of the construction of the roads, the bridges, the pavements, the drains, and even the water courses. He says that Ramdaye uses his position to ensure only his company and those of his relatives win tenders for road construction. And so they do very poor work or shoddy work, and the municipality remains with very poor infrastructure because of this. There's more. He also complains about him being a con man. He says there's hardly any person he has not conned in this town. That is page 63 of your text, the Samaritan. He says you'll find him leaning on the street poles in town back streets, gazing vacantly into empty spaces like an evil spirit. You know, he really does not like him. So he says all the negative. And he says he stands there waiting for fake title deeds to be printed. He prints 10 title deeds for one plot, for the same plot, yet he also goes ahead to sell the same plot to 10 different people. That is conning people. And he complains that people are glorifying evil and mediocrity in this leader, about this leader in this town who fails to deliver. He goes ahead to say he resembles sloth. Those are negative, very evil words. Have you seen a sloth? He's asking Nicole, a God-forsaken creature that gives you nausea the moment you see him. That is being abusive. But then again, he refers to him as slow. That is most refers to Ramdaye, slow, ugly, dim-witted, and outright useless. If we are bringing out any issues to do with how some leaders show contempt towards others, then that would come out clearly. The issue of nepotism coming out very clearly on page 64 concerning Ramdaye. He says it's like the whole project belongs to his family. He's the one in charge of giving out these contracts, and he has fully involved his family. And that clearly again comes out on page 69. 64, it focused more on Ted King. And on page 69, he says clearly, the family is doing almost all municipal council projects that fall under his department. His wife, daughters, sons, cousins, in-law, outlaws, and I think even his that is exaggeration, great-grandfather. He says it's like the Department of Infrastructure is the official residence of the Ramdaye family. So as a leader, that is wrong. For you to involve your family members and into your projects, that is greediness, and it's also a sign that you're abusing your office as a leader. We also have him planning to overthrow the governor, and for this, and towards this end, he works together with the opposition leader, Basdeo. We have that detail very clearly on page 80 when he says, yeah, as I told you, it was him who approached me with the idea of impeaching Mayor Mosi. That is Ramdaye telling say more about it. And then down there, once I become mayor, you will immediately appoint him the deputy mayor. So he has it all planned out. And he also says we are all in agreement when Basdeo arrives on page 81. We are in agreement about working together. Your appointment as deputy mayor is guaranteed. So he's gone ahead, and there's a mayor in town, but he's taking over. It's a sign of greed. Somebody who is very greedy for power and wants to take over while the other leader is still in power, and that shows that he's somebody who is evil. Now, he suffers. On page 131, is one of those leaders who are embarrassed and forced to be humiliated when he goes to see Nicole with that team of these other leaders to ask for Nicole's forgiveness. And of course, he's in the company of Honorable Ted, Honorable Bembe, Honorable Basdeo, the entire team, Justice Jordan, and of course our Mayor Mosi are all there. They all get arrested on page 138 by officers from the National Anti-Corruption Commission. So things are not rosy for him in the end, which means he's forced to humiliate himself to that level, to go to see Nicole to ask for forgiveness. He's also forced, he's also being arrested. So again, any question to do with negativity in leaders, or leaders causing downfall, leaders causing suffering to the citizens, or abusing their position, or being involved in corrupt deeds, nepotism, and the rest, Honorable Ramdaye comes out very clearly. Let's give the correct illustrations concerning him. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.